Discipline Equals Freedom, Field Manual, by Jocko Willink. Introduction. Imagine a man who wakes up before the sun, not sometimes, but every single day. A man whose watch, a simple black Timex, is a symbol not of time, but of a promise he makes to himself. A man who commanded the most highly decorated Special Operations Unit of the Iraq War, Task Unit Bruiser, in the brutal streets of Ramadi. This man is Jocko Willink. He's not a motivational speaker in the traditional sense. He doesn't sell quick fixes or easy hacks. In fact, his message is the exact opposite. It's a message forged in the crucible of combat, a philosophy that is as simple as it is brutally difficult. It's a single powerful idea that has resonated with millions around the world, creating a movement built on personal accountability and relentless effort. The book we're exploring today, Discipline Equals Freedom, Field Manual, isn't just a collection of thoughts, it's an operating system for life. It's a declaration of war against the parts of ourselves that hold us back, our laziness, our excuses, our procrastination. Now, you might be thinking this sounds intense, maybe even a little extreme. And you'd be right. But what if I told you that this path of extreme discipline, this road of hard work and sacrifice, isn't about restriction? What if it's the only true path to liberation? That's the paradox and the promise of this book. By the end of our time together today, you will understand not just what Jocko believes, but why he believes it. You'll see how the lessons learned on the battlefield can be applied to win the battles in your own mind. You'll discover the simple, actionable steps you can take, starting right now, to stop procrastinating, to take control of your mind, and to build the life you truly want. This isn't about becoming a Navy SEAL. It's about becoming the commander of your own life. So, settle in, and let's walk the path together. Book summary. So, where does a journey like this begin? For Jocko, it doesn't start with a magic formula or a complicated theory. It starts with a simple question. A question he gets asked over and over again. Why? Why wake up so early? Why train so hard? Why live a life of such uncompromising discipline? For a long time, the answer was simple. He was preparing for war. He knew that somewhere out there, an enemy was also preparing. Training, planning, and waiting to meet him on the battlefield. And in that ultimate test, he wanted to be ready, mentally, physically, and emotionally. He trained his men with that same brutal intensity, so that when the day came, they would be ready. And they were. They fought, and they won. But then, one day, the war was over for him. He was no longer a soldier, no longer a leader of men in combat. So what drives him now? The answer is what gives this entire philosophy its soul. It's not for him. It's for the men that did not come home. Mark Lee, Mike Monsoor, Ryan Job. He says their names. He remembers their sacrifice. He understands that his freedom, the very air he breathes, was paid for with their lives. And so, he will not waste it. He will live a life worthy of the price they paid. He will make every second count. He will not let them down. And that, right there, is the heart of it all. Discipline isn't a punishment. It's a tribute. It's the highest form of gratitude for the gift of life. Most of us look for the shortcut. The hack. The easy way. Jocko is here to tell us that the shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you where you truly want to be. The easy road leads to a place of weakness and regret. If you want to be stronger, smarter, faster, healthier, better, if you want to be free, there is only one way. The way of discipline. It's the root of all good qualities. It's the force that overcomes the 1,000 excuses our minds create every day. That voice that whispers, "Not today. I'm tired. I'll do it tomorrow. Discipline is the thing that tells that voice to shut up. It's hard work, late nights, early mornings, practice, study, sweat, and toil. There is no other way. So, where does this powerful force come from? This is where many of us get it wrong. We think discipline is something that's imposed on us from the outside. A drill sergeant, a coach, a tough boss. And that can work, for a little while. But that kind of discipline is fragile. It's not real. It can't stand on its own. The only discipline that lasts, the only kind that will truly set you free, is self-discipline. And as the name implies, it comes from the self. From you. It comes from the moment you make a decision. The decision to be better. The decision to do more. The decision to be more. If you don't think you're a disciplined person, Jocko says it's simply because you haven't decided to be. Yet. It's a choice. You have to make the decision, make the commitment, and embrace its power. And when you do, it will make you stronger, smarter, healthier, and better than anything else. Most importantly, it will make you free. This all sounds good in theory, but what about in practice? What about that moment when the alarm goes off and it's dark outside, and your bed has never felt warmer? What about that feeling of procrastination that tells you to wait for the right time to start? People always ask him, "Where do I start? And when is the best time to start?" His answer is the same, every single time. Here. And now. That's it. You want to start a new workout program? You want to eat clean? You want to write a book or start a business? The time is now. The place is here. You have to initiate action. You have to go. That idea in your head isn't going to execute itself. Those weights in the gym aren't going to move themselves. You have to do it. And you have to do it now. So, stop thinking about it. Stop researching it endlessly. Stop debating the pros and cons. Take the first step. Make it happen. Get after it. Here. And now. This leads to one of the most powerful and liberating ideas in the entire book, the concept of mind control. When we hear those words, we usually think of someone controlling someone else's mind. But that's not what Jocko is talking about. He's talking about controlling your own mind. Your mind is a machine, and you are the one in control of it. People ask him, "How do I get tougher?" His answer, "Be tougher." How can I wake up early? Wake up early. How can I stop eating sugar? Stop eating sugar. It sounds almost ridiculously simple, doesn't it? But that's the point. You have control over your mind. You just have to assert it. You have to decide that you are in charge. He has a powerful way of framing this. He says that feelings like weakness, laziness, sadness, and frustration, they don't get a vote. Think about that for a second. Your negativity doesn't get a vote. Your temper doesn't get a vote. You are declaring martial law on your mind. You impose what you want on your brain. Discipline. Power. Positivity. Will. Don't let your mind control you. Control your mind. And then, once you have it under control, you can set it free. Now, as he's saying all this, you might be thinking, "This guy sounds like a machine. Does he even have weaknesses?" He addresses this head on. He says, "I am nothing but weakness." He admits he's not naturally strong, or fast, or the smartest person in the world. He gets emotional over stupid things. He eats the wrong foods. He procrastinates. He cares too much about things that don't matter. His ego is too big. He is weak. But he doesn't accept it. He doesn't accept that this is who he is doomed to be. He is fighting. always fighting, scraping, kicking, and clawing at those weaknesses to change them. Some days he wins. Some days he doesn't. But every single day, he gets back up, clenches his fists, and moves toward the battle. He fights to be just a little bit better today than he was yesterday. This is not about being perfect. It's about being in the fight. And that fight gets tested most by one of our biggest modern enemies, stress. We all feel it. Work, school, relationships, money. It can feel overwhelming. Jocko's first piece of advice for dealing with stress is to gain perspective. He says to imagine the unimaginable horror that soldiers faced on the beaches of Normandy, or in the jungles of Vietnam, or the frozen mountains of Korea. Humans can withstand almost inconceivable stress. And so can you. The first step is to detach. Step back from the problem. Most stress is caused by things you can't control. If you can't control it, you have to accept it. Don't waste energy stressing about it. If the stress is something you can control, and you're not doing anything about it, that's not stress, that's a lack of discipline. Take ownership. Solve the problem. But what about the stress you can't control? The chaos of life? He says you have to embrace it. Turn it into an ally. Use it to make yourself sharper, more alert, more effective. Use the pressure to learn and grow. Don't fight stress. Use it. This leads to what he calls destroyer mode, that berserker overdrive that will not stop. He says it comes from a balance of two opposing forces, emotion and logic. When it doesn't make any logical sense to go on, when your body is broken and the math just doesn't add up, that's when you use your emotion. Your anger, your frustration, your fear. You channel it into a single, defiant thought, I don't stop. And when your feelings are screaming that you've had enough, that you're going to break emotionally, you override that feeling with concrete logic. A simple, cold, calculated decision that says, I don't stop. You fight weak emotions with logic, and you fight the weakness of logic with emotion. In the balance of those two, you find the strength to never, ever quit. This mentality of never being finished is something he drilled into his SEALs. In training, they would attack his platoons hardest after the primary mission was complete. When the men were tired, patrolling back to base, their minds already at home, that's when the real attack would come. He wanted to instill one crucial mindset: it is never finished. You always have more to do. Another mission, another task, another goal. The enemy is always waiting, looking for that moment of weakness when you exhale and close your eyes. So don't be finished. Be starting. Be alert. Be ready. Be attacking. Be relentless. Let the enemy rest. You don't stop. You don't rest. Not until the enemy is completely destroyed. And even then, you turn your focus inward and use the opportunity to make yourself better. This philosophy of discipline applies to everything. It starts with waking up early, yes, but that's just the beginning. It's working out every day. It's eating the right foods to fuel your body correctly. It's disciplining your emotions to make good decisions. It's controlling your ego so it doesn't control you. It's facing your fears so you can conquer them. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road. It can feel like your worst enemy, but in reality, it is your best friend. It will take care of you, and it will put you on the path to strength, health, happiness, and ultimately, to freedom. Of course, to walk this path, you have to fight against some of our most deeply ingrained instincts. One of the most dangerous is that little voice that tells you, you've had enough. You've given it your best shot. You can rest now. Jocko says this instinct is a liar. It's a defense mechanism for your ego, giving you a place to run where failure is comforted and excused. It tells you it's okay to settle. It's okay to give up. You have to fight that instinct. You have to smash it into the ground. If you have to retreat, make it a logical, tactical decision to regroup and reattack. Don't let it be a surrender based on the instinct of defeat. Replace it with a new instinct. An instinct that says, get up. Go. Fight on. Make that your gut reaction to adversity, and nothing will stand in your path. But what about those days when you're just not feeling it? When you're tired, worn out, sick of the grind? What does Jocko do on those days? He goes anyway. He gets it done. Even if he's just going through the motions, he goes through the motions. He says that feeling might be a signal that you need a break. But don't take today off. Wait until tomorrow. Don't give in to the immediate gratification whispering in your ear. Procrastinate on your procrastination. Chances are, when tomorrow comes, you'll realize that the desire to rest was just weakness. It was the desire to take the path of least resistance. And by going through the motions, you stayed on the disciplined path. You stayed on what he calls the war path. The war path is a path of war. A war against our nation's enemies, yes, but also a war against our own weaknesses. It's a path of preparing, sharpening your sword, and maintaining unmitigated daily discipline in all things. It's a war against weakness, so it leads to strength. It's a war against ignorance, so it leads to knowledge. It's the path of fire and adversity, which is why it leads to freedom. And in the end, it leads to peace. A huge part of this daily battle is what you put into your body. Jocko has a chapter called Sugar-Coated Lies, and it's one of the most direct and powerful sections of the book. He talks about the donuts in the break room, the cookies, the cake, the soda. He calls them what they are: poison. That junk doesn't fuel you. It kills you. It makes you weaker, slower, and dumber. And you know it. But the lies we tell ourselves are so convincing. It's free. It's the only choice. I'll start my diet tomorrow. Wrong. Unless you've gone for days without food, you don't need to eat it. Humans can go 30 days without food. You can make it. When those foods are calling your name, he says to get angry. Get aggressive. Stand your ground and say no. He calls it holding the line. Hold the line for your health, for your mental toughness, and to exercise your will, which, he promises, is stronger than the will of a donut, if you want it to be. This is where the book shifts from the why to the how. It moves from thoughts to actions. The first action is physical training. The benefits are obvious. You'll be healthier. It prevents high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, insomnia, and depression. It's also been proven to make you smarter. It improves blood flow to the brain, releases chemicals that help with cognition, and helps with mental processes. But maybe the most important benefit is the psychological edge. Waking up early and working out hard demands discipline. And Jocko believes that discipline isn't a finite resource that gets used up. It's a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Discipline begets discipline. When you start your day with that victory, you're on the path. You're more likely to eat well, to attack your tasks, to make good decisions. You want to stay on the path. The opposite is also true. When you sleep in, skip your workout, and eat junk for breakfast, you're off the path. Your will never even showed up. So, get on the path, and stay on the path. But to do that, you need to address the biggest obstacle for most people: sleep. Sleep is a necessity. A lack of it has serious side effects on your body and brain. Most adults need between 7 and 9 hours. Jocko is one of those rare people who genetically need less, but he emphasizes that being in good physical condition and eating clean also helps him need less sleep. So how do you get enough sleep and still wake up early? The answer is painfully simple. Go to bed earlier. If you go to bed at 10 p.m. and wake up at 5 a.m., that's 7 hours. If you go to bed at 9:55, you can wake up at 4:55 and be up before the enemy. The world is yours when you are up before everyone else. There's no traffic. No one to distract you. It's just you. He offers some practical tips for falling asleep earlier. 1. Get tired. A hard workout in the morning will help you fall asleep faster at night. 2. Turn off the screens. The light tricks your brain, and the content is designed to hook you. Don't take the bait. 3. Read. It relaxes your mind and makes you smarter. If the book is too exciting, read a boring one. 4. And most importantly, the key to getting to sleep early is getting up early. It might be hard tonight, but it will make tomorrow night easier. Even if you only get 5 hours of sleep, still get up at your target time. You'll be tired during the day, which is good. It means you'll be ready for bed on time that night. He also talks about the power of martial arts. He believes everyone should train in martial arts. Not just for self-defense, but for the profound lessons it teaches. He breaks it down into grappling, striking, and weapons. He says the ultimate form of self-defense is being smart and aware, avoiding dangerous situations in the first place. But if conflict is unavoidable, a firearm is the ultimate equalizer. He stresses the immense responsibility and mandatory training that comes with owning one. For unarmed combat, he gives a practical, no-nonsense breakdown. Forget the theories and emotional attachments people have to their specific style. We have decades of evidence from the UFC, combat, and street fights about what actually works. He recommends starting with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Why? Because most fights end up in a grappling scenario. Not learning Jiu-Jitsu because you don't want to go to the ground is like not learning to swim because you don't want to go in the water. It's the best way to handle that environment. It's also incredibly complex and cerebral, a never-ending challenge. Next, he recommends boxing. With just 2 weapons, your left and right hand, you learn footwork, angles, and how to deliver and avoid strikes. Then, Muay Thai for its devastating arsenal of elbows, knees, and shins, and wrestling for its unparalleled ability to control the position of a fight. But the benefits go far beyond the physical techniques. Martial arts get you used to being in uncomfortable situations and fighting on. It's a mental and physical grind. If the martial art you're training is easy, it's probably not doing you much good. Finally, he addresses the practical side of fueling this machine: diet. He advocates for a diet that our bodies have evolved to eat over millions of years, not the modern diet we've only had for about 10,000 years. He calls it the Paleolithic or caveman diet. Essentially, eat meat, fish, eggs, vegetables, nuts, and some fruits and dairy. Do not eat grains, potatoes, refined sugar, and processed oils. This means a diet of mostly fat, then protein, with minimal carbohydrates. He warns against the 80-20 rule, where you eat clean 80% of the time. He says it's a slippery slope. 80-20 becomes 60-40, and before you know it, you're completely off the path. Sugar is an addiction. You wouldn't tell a heroin addict to only use 20% of the time. Go cold turkey. Hold the line. And what about those times when you're traveling, or at a party, and there are no good food options available? His solution is simple: don't eat. It's called fasting, and it's a gift. Fasting has incredible physiological benefits, but the psychological benefits are just as real. It forces you to exercise your will. It recalibrates your sense of hunger. You realize that most of the time, you're not actually hungry, you're just bored. He regularly fasts for 24 hours and does 72-hour fasts every few months. And he says it's not a big deal. He still works, trains, and lives his life. This entire framework, the thoughts, the actions, the fuel, is built on one of the most powerful reframing tools I've ever come across. It's a single word he uses to respond to setbacks, failures, and disasters. That word is good. This is a mindset he developed in the SEAL teams. When a subordinate would come to him with a major problem, his immediate response would be, "Good." At first, it was confusing. But then he explained it. When things are going bad, there's always going to be some good that will come from it. Mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get the new gear we wanted? Good. We can keep it simple. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Got injured? Good. Needed a break from training. Got beat? Good. We learned. Unexpected problems? Good. We have an opportunity to figure out a solution. This isn't about being a smiley, positive guy who ignores reality. It's about accepting reality but immediately focusing on the solution. It's about taking that setback and turning it into something good. And if you can say the word good, it means you're still alive. You're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, you've still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack. This is the philosophy of Jocko Willink. It's not easy. It's not a hack. It's a path. A warpath. It's a daily commitment to fight against your own weakness, to hold the line, and to take ownership of your life. It's the understanding that the friction, the struggle, the discipline, that is what sharpens you. That is what makes you strong. And that is what will, ultimately, set you free. Commentary. As we come to the end of our journey through Discipline Equals Freedom, it's worth taking a moment to reflect on what this all really means. On the surface, this book can seem like a manual for becoming an unstoppable, unfeeling machine. Wake up at 4:30 a.m., work out until you can't move, eat nothing but meat and vegetables, and crush every obstacle in your path. It's an intimidating standard, and it's easy to feel like it's just not for you. But I think that misses the point. The real genius of Jocko Willink's philosophy isn't about the specific actions, it's about the underlying mindset. It's about the profound shift that happens when you stop seeing discipline as a burden and start seeing it as a tool. A tool for what? A tool for crafting a life of intention. We live in a world that is constantly pulling at us, trying to make us weaker. Our phones are designed to addict us. Our food is engineered to make us crave more. Our culture often celebrates comfort and convenience above all else. In this environment, living a life of discipline isn't extreme. It's a necessary act of rebellion. It's the act of saying, I will not be a passive consumer of the life that is handed to me. I will be the architect of the life I want to live. The most powerful lesson for me is the concept of good. It's such a simple, almost jarring response to failure, but it completely changes the game. It takes you from a position of victimhood to a position of power in a single moment. It's not about denying that something bad happened. It's about immediately asking, what is the opportunity here? That mindset alone, if applied consistently, can change the entire trajectory of your life. So, how can you start applying these principles today, without completely overhauling your life overnight? Here are a few simple, practical actions you can take. 1. Win the first battle. Tomorrow morning, set your alarm just 15 minutes earlier than usual. When it goes off, don't think. Just get your feet on the floor. That's it. You've won the first battle of the day. You've proven to yourself that you are in control. 2. Hold the line. Once. Today, when you're faced with a sugar-coated lie, a donut, a soda, a bag of chips, just say no. Just once. Feel the small victory of exercising your will over a fleeting craving. That's a rep for your discipline muscle. 3. Embrace good. The next time something small goes wrong, you get stuck in traffic, you spill your coffee, you forget something, instead of getting frustrated, just say good out loud. Then, find one small positive. Stuck in traffic? Good. More time to listen to this podcast or think. Spilled your coffee? Good. I needed to drink more water anyway. It will feel strange at first, but it trains your brain to look for solutions instead of dwelling on problems. This book is not about becoming Jocko Willink. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. And that journey begins not with a giant leap, but with one small, disciplined step. That was a summary of Discipline Equals Freedom, Field Manual by Jocko Willink. We've certainly hit the highlights today, but I'll be honest with you, a summary can only ever be a map. The real magic happens when you explore the territory for yourself. It's in the quiet moments of reading when a particular story or a simple phrase hits you in a way you didn't expect. This overview is designed to help you decide if this book is worth your time. If anything we've talked about has sparked something in you, I encourage you to grab a copy. Reading it isn't just about learning. It's an experience that can genuinely change the way you see yourself and the battles you face every day. The link to the book is in the description. Also, if you found this journey valuable, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. That way, you won't miss our next deep dive into another life-changing book from the billionaire's bookshelf. Let's keep learning and growing together.